Welcome to the InfoMullet YouTube channel. If you enjoy this content, please like or share. And if you'd like to support the InfoMullet by becoming a mulleteer, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate your support. John asks, given the administrative jurisdictional patchwork in U.S. law enforcement, could a federal approach even work? Aren't we essentially stuck with local regional approach to change in police forces? John, I answered this last week. I think the majority of reform effort is going to be bottoms up. You can talk about Campaign Zero. You can talk about city councils, mayors, city level action. There is something the federal government can do, which we saw both in Ferguson and Baltimore. It had a department that was very well staffed with experts that did investigations after these incidents. They went to Ferguson and they went to Baltimore and they created these reports. The link to the Ferguson report is in the comments. I'd go check that out. This is like turning a federal spotlight to demonstrate the iceberg nature. And I think its best utility is twofold. One, it creates a record of what disparate policing actually looks like in total across the board, not just in deaths, not just in hospitalizations, but in basically the Ferguson police were working like medieval sheriffs, where they used the population as a tax source for the nobles, and they were collecting revenue and fees and things like that. And that's a huge light that's important to understand, that these things exist. The second thing that the federal action can do is they can issue a consent decree, and that consent decree is a binding contract. The city has to agree to it, but once the Ferguson agreed to their consent decree, they're in a contract with the Department of Justice. They're on the hook for making those reforms. And the downside right now is that department has been dismantled under the Trump administration. It could be rebrought up, and we could use the example of the Ferguson and Baltimore inquiries. There should be one in Minneapolis. That, you can't do them in all cities, but you can certainly pick certain cities. Chicago, perhaps top of my list, where you want to see what is the nature of disparate policing, what is the nature of this iceberg. New York City, Los Angeles after this last weekend, anywhere you have these brutal police responses in relation and the longstanding allegations of disparate policing, the Department of Justice investigation is a useful federal tool to come in with a group of experts, go top to bottom, and document what's going wrong, what's going right, and put in a consent decree to fix it. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to follow the InfoMullet, visit us on Facebook or Twitter. And if you'd like notifications when we post new video content, click on the red subscribe button below the video. If you've ever wanted to become a mulleteer and support the InfoMullet, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate the support.